draft night. All right. In the building tonight, you're going to have young Bruce. I'm lying. You're not going to have young Bruce tonight. You're going to have I'm the One, Not the Two, last year's champion. Oop, there he is. Last year's champion. And we're also going to have in studio A Blaze, former champion from previous years. They're both in studio right now, and we're going to give you the best show possible, IEGA style, so you guys know what's up. We're going to give everybody a little chance to get the room filled up. All right, but in the meantime, and while that's happening, I think it's only fitting. The fact that we're going into the playoffs to hear some really important words, maybe address what's going on in the league from I'm the One, Not the Two. The stage is yours, I'm.
All right. Thank viewers for tuning into Video Games TV and watching this special IGA group draft night broadcast. As he mentioned, I am a champion from last year. Still very humble, still very shocked that I can call myself a champion. And this is arguably, yeah, you would say that. This is arguably my favorite 2 weeks of the year. Some people like spring break. Some people love the Christmas break and the Christmas holidays and the holiday season there. I love the IGA playoffs and the postseason play because not only does it have all the drama that you need, it has all the action, all the great gameplay, but more importantly, it has the competitive trash talk. And these guys are all former athletes. They're heavy gamers, and they're fans of their sports team. So it's hands down the greatest show on TV and on the internet. And speaking for myself and what these guys are going to be experiencing, especially for some of the rookies in the IQL 1 tonight, and the nerves are going to be pumping so bad because they have no idea what they're in for. They think that it's just going to be a regular head-to-head match. They've done that a million times over, but they haven't done it with that heightened competition. The phrase there, the amount of pressure that they're going to feel from just having to perform for a set 20 minutes, concentration, to the max, and then need to be able to back up that performance right away against that same opponent who can then make adjustments, and then on top of that have another opponent that you have to repeat and be able to play a high level just to be able to come one of the top two to advance out of the group stage is enormous pressure. So I love it. I know everyone's going to say that they have a preferred group or that they're not worried about who they get in their group. The amount of messages that are going to be coming in and the amount of nerves that you're going to hear in these competitors' voices will tell the tale of how not just intense but competitive this particular region is than we've had any other region. And to kind of speak volumes of that, we've had, I think, three of our past champions, one not make the postseason in DMPR. We have A-Blaze on the line, not to jump ahead, but A-Blaze on the line, and he's sitting right now in the silver division, not his typical form. And then we even have SK Bala, a past champion, sitting in the bronze group. So that just speaks volumes, not to a gameplay drop in the competition, but the amount of fierceness that's been elevated because of how great these past two champions are. Everyone wants to beat the champ. Everyone has that champion bullseye, on their back. So it's even harder for these past two champions. And I know they're going to have a great run. And I don't want to go on a limb, but I feel like this year we might see the first two-time champion. I have a weird feeling that this might be the year that someone actually puts on two belts, has two championship rings. So I'm just excited. I wish I was able to compete in this tournament. That's all I can say.
Good important words heard from I'm the One, Not the Two.
I agree.
Very important. And what you said is absolutely right. I mean, it's no coincidence that the IEGA does have a tagline saying heightened competition. And like you mentioned, going into the playoffs, everything is going to be elevated to another level. Everything is going to be heightened. And for those that kind of think it's just another match, I can tell you, you're going to be sadly mistaken. It's not going to be another match. It's going to be the most intense playoffs of your lives, and you can only live it. Can't speak about it. You can't be coached up about it. You have to live it. Um, I do find it interesting for Im to say that he believes he's going out on a limb that there's going to be a two-time champion. All right. Now you guys all know, and let me make sure everything's clear. I am Vader Games representing the IEGA. You notice the hoodie's not on, so if the hoodie was on, I would have instantly argued and debated what I'm just said. But I'm gonna let that slide right now because I'm here in IEGA capacity. Now, we've got A Blaze also on the mic right now. Pause. He's going to be he's going to be the key man with regards to the interactions that's happening with you, the viewers. Okay, there's going to be opportunities no matter what is said tonight. There's going to be an opportunity for you guys to chime in. All right, so you'll get an invite if you message on the chat. You will get an invite from A Blaze to join the party chat and exchange any points you may have. If getting into the party chat is not possible, you can, for those of you that have already connected on Discord, you can connect through Discord and you'll be heard on the Twitch channel, or like we've done in very special cases, we've actually taken in some calls. All right, we've taken in some calls so we can make that possible as well. All right, there's going to be 3 amazing options for you guys to be part of the broadcast, in addition to what you guys are going to be typing within the chat stream right now. All right. Now, quickly, let me give you guys a recap of what happened in this IQL 1. All right. Playing FIFA 19 has never been so intense. And like I'm said, the competition has just elevated all across the board. Really quickly, for those of you that are in the league, you know exactly what this is all about. I'm going to put it on screen. No surprises here. But I got to put it on the screen. I got to put the player rankings up on the screen, right? And I mean, oh no, this got to be refreshed. My bad. There we go. We got the player rankings up on the screen. And what I want to show you guys is 1 through 14. This is 14. These are the members competing in the IQL 1. All right, there's numerous regions within the IEGA, but we're strictly focused on the IQL 1 right now. And Everton at 7 points, not making the playoffs this year. And actually the player that represented Everton this year, like I'm the one said, was a former champion. All right, the competition was intense. I think the familiarity that he had to get with his team wasn't quite there, and unfortunately as a result he was only able to manage 7 points against the rest of the field. Now, it's disappointing that he wasn't able to make the playoffs. I, as a competitor, would have liked to compete against the best. But this year, DMPER did not show to be one of the best to make the playoffs. All right, you guys, please understand that I'm talking factual right now. Everything that I'm saying is not with a sub diss. I'm just giving you the facts right now. DNPER did not play the level to make the playoffs. He did, however, set a IEGA record, and in doing so, he is the first player. He's the first player to have gone through an entire season and not register a win. All right, that is an IEGA record right now. That's crazy. That is unbelievable. If you think about some of the matches and you think about not even being able to catch somebody off guard or to pull out like a surprising win. I know that is a distinction that DNPER definitely does not want. But he's got to hold it, man. He's got to hold it. Now, I guess the question could be said, and Blaze, I'm going to use your interviewing styles, you know what I mean? Use the questions that you like to pose, you know what I'm saying? So, would you rather be a player that is consistently in the playoffs, threatening in the knockout stage to not have won a championship, or would you want to be a former champion and not register a win and not make the playoffs?
That's a tough question.
And I'm not even looking for an answer right now. If you want to ponder it, I kind of just put myself in A Blaze mode. A Blaze gives you those questions, right? He puts you on one side of the fence, like, would you rather be? So I just thought about that.
That's a really tough question.
Come
I
on.
no, I say it's a tough question because I'm trying to think. I fall back on the fact that I've won in a lot of arguments. So I don't know. Would it have the same ring if I fell back on, oh, I'm always in the playoffs? You know what I'm saying? Like if I was arguing with someone, um, if I was arguing with anyone trying to assert my dominance,
Hmm.
does it hit harder to say, well, shoot, I'm a champ, or does it hit harder to be like, well, shoot, I'm always in the mix?
Yeah, but you now have to say I'm a champ as well as I'm just saying, like you'll say, let's put ourselves in DMPER shoes right now. If we were to say, yeah, but I'm the champ, the next man is going to be quick to tell him, yeah, what does being the champ have to do? You didn't even make the playoffs or get a win.
Yeah, yeah. That would suck.
That hurts. That hurts. I mean, that's a question we're gonna have to ask DMPER when we catch him. If anyone has his digits, hit him up. See if he wants to chime in on the broadcast right now. But that is a question I think we need answered. That might have to be something we put out there in the Twitterverse. Okay, so
I
that's
think he retired to Fort Lauderdale.
ooh. He had to de-stress. He had to like he had to get some sun
I
and
think
kind
so,
of
man.
damn, damn. I've known some players to have done that. The stress got a little too high. They have to take a little vacation. All right, but hopefully DMPR comes back strong for the next tournament. And speaking of the next tournament, I'm gonna go into some detail of that really briefly because again, this season, this is not over yet. We're still in IEGA IQL1 mode right now, but we're gonna move on from number 14 not making the playoffs in this instance to number 13, which is Atletico Madrid. Atletico Madrid was able to register 12 points. This team was represented by Schoolemans or Schools in, and I'll be the first to tell you guys, I thought Schools in was going to make the late run and qualify for the playoffs. He's a veteran. He's played within the league a couple years now, a few years now, and the guy can play. I don't know what it was this year. He wasn't able to get the number of wins that he needed. And honestly, when we look at the standings right now, he would have had to get two more wins. Two more wins would have qualified him past number 12, which was Angel representing Milan. I know Schools is definitely disappointed. And I mean, I mean, I would extend. I mean, I always have the Vader Games tutorial sessions available. I would extend an offering to him if that's something that he wants to take up on. I don't know if any other players may have some advice. I thought for a minute he was linked up with Mackenzie in terms of like a duo, but not making the playoffs. I know Schools and is definitely not happy with that. We'll have to reach out to him and see what kind of moves he has plans for the next tournament because he obviously has to be focused on the next tournament. His season's done, but we'll see what he gets to put together. He was playing some really good soccer. I think he had some
Hmm.
unfortunate finishes, man. Just wasn't able to close it out. Sometimes you got to be lucky, man. Sometimes you got to be lucky. It looks like Schools was not lucky this year. Number 12, we've got Angel represent Milan. He's relatively new to the league. I mean, he participated last year in the Wild Games. Good player. He's represent Milan, which is I think his fanboy team, and did a good job. I mean, I think the level of competition caught him off guard. He wasn't able to, I think, to dominate, which he thought he might be able to do. He had a good run last year in the Wild Games, but making the playoffs, I think for him, he's like, I got into the playoffs. Now anything can happen. There's some very good Cinderella stories that have happened in past years, and Angel could have a chance to do some really big things if he just figures some things out. Inter Milan, read by the Teddy Bear or DTB Gaming TV. He's repping Inter. He's one of the more creative players, I would have to say, in terms of like his scoring ability and the things that he attempts in game. I think he's going to be a player to watch out for the playoffs, despite getting the 22 points in the regular season. You can't take him lightly, and he had a really good representation for year one in the league, like Angel. Uh, Dud Teddy Bear came in through the wild games and played well. So that 11 rank is good. I think he can definitely look to better that and maybe make a better showing in the playoffs. All right, so we got number 10, and I'm going to move a little faster through this. So at number 10, we've got Liverpool. All right, a very good team, 29 points during the regular season, represented by Miggy, and Miggy is a definite veteran in this league. I would honestly say I think for him to end the season at number 10, I would think that he's disappointed with that rankings. For how he started off the year with some of the wins that he was able to put together, I would have envisioned a better finish. But I mean, 10 is he's definitely in the playoffs, like everybody else. He's got a chance to go on a big run. He's got Liverpool, a very dangerous team. I know that he's messing around with a couple different tactics and formations, so he might do something special when it comes down to the playoffs. So we got to watch out for that. And he's the first one to tell you that he shows up when the bright lights are on. Now at number 9, Manchester United, represented by SK Bala, former champion, who was able to register 32 points. I would have to say those 32 points is very disappointing for SK Bala. He's normally a player that's, I think, in the higher portion or the higher half of the league. So ranked at ninth is not something that I think he's gonna be happy with. But honestly, a lot of players have kind of looked at SK and they've said it. They've said it to his face that he's not the same player that he used to be. So I think if he's gonna change the minds of those players, if he's gonna try to have a little bit more of a intimidating factor and make a good playoff run, he's gonna have to change those minds with his gameplay. And again, in the playoffs, in this type of format, anything can happen. This guy is a veteran, so he knows how to handle the pressure. And I don't believe, he's always made it out of the group stage. So that's one player I think that's probably looking forward to the playoffs. All the players that I mentioned previously, so Miggy, obviously, the Teddy Bear, and we've got Angel. Those players have never made it out of the group stage. Mind you, Angel and the Teddy Bear never made it to this point in the playoffs for the IQL one. But Miggy has made the group stage, so I think for him a big plus would be making it out of the group stage, making it to the knockout stage. I think that would be a successful season for him. We've got number 8. Number 8, Arsenal, represented by Ablaze at 34 points. Now, we've heard it. And if you haven't heard it, I'm sure he's told you. He's a former champ. This man uses Arsenal. It's the first year that he's used Arsenal within the league. He's always been a fan of them. Him, like a few other players, tend to challenge themselves with the type of teams that they have. So Blaze isn't a type of player to pick a 5-star team just looking at to have success in the league. He actually makes it a point to avoid the 5 stars, but he will make sure that he finds a team that has the characteristics that he needs, that he is successful for. I'm not going to say anything more than that. But Arsenal, 34 points. I know 100% Blaze isn't happy with where he is within the rankings, and this is one instance where Blaze is in the party chat. So I'll give you my 2 cents, and then obviously he can chime in. But I think just getting accustomed to the way the league, or not so much the league, but the way the game was designed this year. It took a little getting used to, in addition to playing with a completely new team. When you look at some of the head-to-head matches, I don't think that there's anyone that Blaze would fear going into the playoffs. But the consistency that we're accustomed to seeing from Blaze in terms of the number of wins wasn't quite there throughout the entire season. Definitely there early, but it wasn't there throughout the entire season. I'll give the stage for Blaze if there's anything else he may want to chime in with regards to this past regular season and where he sees the playoffs for him.
I'm just ready to get to the next round, to be honest, man. I've had flashes of performance that I'm happy about, and yeah, it all comes down to what happens at the end, because in the past, I've been at the top of the rankings heading into the playoffs, or at least in the top 3. I can't even think of a season where I wasn't in the top 3. Now I think about it. And I've lost. So the rankings don't mean everything. It's good. It's good from a confidence standpoint, and it's good from an intimidation standpoint. But I know that it's not absolutely necessary, because I've seen what can happen.
Fair.
Even if you got a high rank. So
Fair.
I'm in the playoffs, and that's all that matters. Yeah.
All right.
I am doing better than all of the past champions, though.
That is an important point.
I realized that.
Yeah.
So you become a target when you're a champ, which is, and you may become a bit complacent when you're a champ, but I think out of the past champs, though I may have become a little complacent, I'm not the most complacent. This is a little wake-up call. And yeah, playoff time, we just gotta make it happen, man. Kind of like coming in as underdog.
We're getting
quote unquote.
We're getting some really good comments coming up within the stream right now. DC's looking for a party invite, and DC we'll look.
There's a few messages. There's a few messages in the chat right now.
There are some key messages that I'm going to definitely get into, and I think when we get to your names with regards to this past season, we'll give you guys, if you guys want, we'll give you the 1 or 2 minutes to be able to speak within this past season. We'll give you that opportunity. DC's looking for a party invite. DC, when we get to that point, we'll definitely let you in. We got Game Toronto, big ups IEGA. Yo, much respect, Game Toronto. I appreciate that, my guy. All right. DC has he brings up the point. As you were going through your kind of recap, Blaze, DC goes, Blaze would be afraid to see me in the playoffs. I own him. That's coming straight from DC. That got a little laugh from I'm the 1, not the 2.
It's a bad mistake.
What do you mean?
Well, I don't know. I've been in the playoffs with DC before. It never ended well. To be honest, DC's most success against me is when I've had some breaks, and then I come back, and he'll have a little run, then I'll get my rhythm back. He'll suck again. I remember I went a season where I went most of the season not using my triangle button against him.
Oh, wow.
Oh, yeah, that was crazy.
Yeah, that's not even a lie. That sounds like a fake story.
That's legendary.
It's a real story.
It does sound like
I feel like it does, but it's not. I don't know. I feel like he's not used to this type of success that he's had, especially against me. It's pretty obvious. But he's also setting himself up to look really, really, really bad, which I've made him look in the past. So he must be really confident or really stupid.
Wow.
We're about to find out. But as far as like the way he's handling this, it's not like someone who's like at my level.
Well, what I find interesting is like even that story about winning a match not using the triangle button is like those playground stories where they say that man jumped and got the penny off the top of the backboard. You know what I mean? It sounds like one of those mythical stories. But
I don't think I'd ever talk to someone in any type of tone if they used to play me without a button. I think I'd have manners forever. Forever, dog. I think for the rest of the time the game is even made. In FIFA 2055, I'd still have manners.
See, that might be the case, and we're not going to get too hung up on it. But maybe it's the case of that was FIFA 18, and DC has this confidence for FIFA 19.
I agree that if that's justifiable for him, that's fine. But me personally, if any FIFA game, if a guy wasn't using a button against me, I would never talk to him. I'd understand that he owned me in a way that no one has ever owned me before, and that's it. We're different.
I hear that. Okay, so we've got Arsenal, number 8, 34 points. Got the recap. He's looking forward to the playoffs. And DC does, or Game Toronto does bring up a really good point, is that the justification that Blaze now has with regards to the playoffs is because he's at a lower rankings. That could be true, Game Toronto. We're gonna have to see. Time will tell. All right. Next up, we've got number 7. Napoli, 39 points, represented by Can Game. All right, so Can Game is definitely a veteran. He's a player that's had continued improved success over the years, having not made playoffs in previous years, and most recently did make the playoffs but did not get out of the group stage. But he's showing a good progression. I think maybe the confidence builder was him making it to the final four within the Wild games last year. So Can Game is showing that he's in it to win it. 39 points is nothing to sneeze at. He's definitely got a style that players do take a little bit of time to get accustomed to, and he can catch you off guard and definitely do some damage. The comments are coming in pretty quickly, so if you happen to have the time, or Blaze, feel free to chime in and mention anything of relevance.
DC has a lot to say about Can Game right now. He's saying right now he'd have to disagree with what you're saying about him having some good soccer, playing some good soccer, some impressive soccer.
Oh wow.
I'm asked him why. I guess he's in the process of responding. DC's talking a lot. He's talking a lot.
Which he should.
Should he though?
I think he should, and we're gonna get to why. We're gonna get to why I think DC should be talking. So Can Game at ranked 7th in the league, 39 points. He's doing his thing, and again, I think for him, similar to what we mentioned with regards to Miggy, if Can Game can get into his first knockout stage, I think he's going to look at that as success. Now at number six, there's definitely no introduction needed for the person representing Juventus at 42 points. Memorable matches throughout the entire season, or I should say probably most memorable matches happening in the second half of the season. Representing Juventus is Game Toronto. Now this is a player that I think marked down the first date of the IEGA start, most likely probably marked down the date for when he was going to play every player in the league, probably marked down the date for when the playoffs were going to start. And I would put it past him if he marked down the date for when he expects to win the championships. But this is Game Toronto. Always, well, definitely the loudest talker in any league play party chat. He's definitely got the energy. I think he's got the right attitude to go far in the playoffs. And for him, it's his third year in the league. So year one, I think was figuring things out. He definitely didn't have the team I think that he wanted. He found the team that he wanted last year. Had some good success. Obviously made the playoffs last year. Didn't get into the knockout stage. He got in. He now has his team for the third year now, and this is what players like to throw at him. I think as to throw him off or diminish what he's doing. But regardless, he's using the team that he's picked for the last 2 years. It's not his fault that Cristiano Ronaldo, the first or the number one player in the league or in the game, is on his team. But if you ask him, and definitely, it doesn't matter that he has Cristiano Ronaldo on there. All right, I know that he went through. It wasn't league play time, but he definitely went through the off season. #No Ronaldo. And showed that he did need him. So we're gonna see all the training, all the preparation for what Game Toronto's done, and how it's gonna pay off for him in the playoffs. He didn't make it.
Can I say something about that one player?
Yeah, absolutely.
May I interject?
Absolutely.
I don't think enough people give Game Toronto, Rudy, enough credit, because when you specialize in a certain genre of game and you completely throw that aside to jump in a different genre because the competition level's there, the jokes are there, and you just have to essentially start from scratch where other guys have been playing the game for years. It's not easy. So even though he's been around for some time now, 3 years, coming from a completely different genre, being in FPS first person shooters, to now be in the sports world and be able to perform at the level he is right now, I think that speaks volumes to him as a competitor, but also from more of a strategical mindset, because a lot of people kind of gloss over that, like it doesn't apply when you're playing
Oh, Game
in
Toronto, you mean?
esports. Game Toronto, absolutely.
Oh, you
And I
said
know
Can Game.
Oh, sorry, I said Game Game.
That's
Did I
rude.
say Game
That's
Game?
rude.
I
That's
thought I
rude
said Game
mix up.
Toronto. I thought I said Game Toronto, Rudy. But
Mm.
when it comes to Game Toronto, I know we all hear the goofy persona, but there is a very brilliant mind that's working behind the scenes. I think he does a lot of that to throw guys off, but he's very strategic in his approach to the game. And I just wanted to kind of throw that out there, because not enough people actually give appreciation to that.
Yeah, I mean, I hear you 100%. It might be something that's overlooked because of everything else that that is part of the Game Toronto persona. But yeah, you don't progress this quickly without having some strategy and some go-to with regards to preparation. And he's ranked sixth, so he's definitely on the better half of the league. He was in the top he was in the top four. He was number one at a point in time within the season, so he definitely did his thing. He's playing at a high level, and I think he'd be the first to tell you that he doesn't care about the matchups for how he's played throughout the year. And when it comes to the playoffs, and having played in the playoffs last year, I think there's now that opportunity to take a step forward. All right. So that's Game Toronto representing Juventus. If there's an opportunity for you to want to chime in with any comments as I'm going through this recap, guys, feel free. All right. Number five, we got FC Bayern, 44 points, represented by Chalaco. Chalaco is a veteran. Chalaco is a man that's played in this league. I think, again, we're going on 3, maybe 4 years for Chalaco, because I think Chalaco came in for one of the late tournaments maybe 4 years ago, and he's been with us in the IEGA ever since. He plays at a high level. I mean, he has FC Bayern. They're no joke. But I mean, Chalaco puts in his hours, man. So this guy knows the game. He knows what he wants to go to. He knows how to attack his opponent. Last year, Chalaco made it into the. He was in the playoffs, so he was in the group stage. He made it out of the playoffs into the knockout stage, and I think that's unfortunately where it ended for him. So he's got unfinished business for sure. I think he's gonna want to. I think he's definitely gonna want to win a knockout stage game, and at 44 points, I mean he's in that mix. He's in that mix. So we're gonna have to watch out for Chalaco into the playoffs. At number four, and here's why I was letting you know, Blaze, why there is so much talks coming from DC, D Colombian, and we've got Tottenham ranked fourth, top four, 45 points. All right, so he's secured a spot to be the leader within one of the groups using Tottenham. And I think, not to go into too much detail, but DC did have a challenging regular season in terms of getting matches in, traveling, situations and circumstances far beyond what he can handle, but surrounding him from friends and family, and was able to battle through that. So I think the tough part with regards to the regular season, he's battled through that, and as a result, he might be looking at the playoffs as like a wipe the sweat from his brow, and he's like, man, now the playoffs is kind of like the easy part. I might be speaking. I'm speaking for DC on the outside looking in, but I think DC's look. He's put the hard work in the regular season, and now he wants the playoffs to be the payoff. All right, but top four for DC is a big deal. So last year he made the playoffs, and I correct me if I'm wrong, but I think last year in the playoffs he was in A Blaze's group. So being in A Blaze's group last year, he and Blaze were the only two to make it out of group stage. So DC's had group stage success. He's had knockout stage success, um, and then obviously for him, he's got unfinished business. Because once you make it out of the group stage, once you win a knockout stage match, you realize how close you are. to getting to a finals or getting to a championships. So we gotta watch over DC. Yo, V365, yo, much respect. I see you. You're new to the channel. I'm doing a recap. I play in the IEGA. They've given me the honor, the pleasure to do a full year recap. Yo, respect on that follow. Respect on that follow. Um, they give me the privilege to do a recap for the year before we go into the playoffs and I do a draft. All right, much respect, V365. Appreciate that follow. So that's DC.
And Bear, don't forget the gloss. You kind of glossed over, but DC was actually the bronze finisher last season. So he made a deep run, and a lot of people felt like, some of that had to do with the fact that he couldn't really be scouted because he was new. It was a rookie campaign, so he had a lot of that young energy and aura into the league. So he kind of played reckless at times and fearless when he really should have been a lot more nervous. But I think some of those expectations might get the better of him this season. Even though he's finished in the top four, I don't see him repeating the same success like he was able to do last year. He's going to hate me, but I don't see him making that same kind of run.
Interesting.
True.
Interesting. I think, well, again, DC
He's becoming a target.
there's nothing wrong with that.
We're gonna see how he. There's nothing wrong with it if you can handle it.
Right.
I mean, we're gonna find out.
Exactly. We're gonna see
But
whether
it's a different seat. He's in a different seat right now.
it's yeah, he's got a different focus on it. But again, and even like some of the maturity that you have to go through is realizing, am I a hunter? Do I prefer to hunt, or do I prefer to be the alpha and talk my trash and be hunted? So some players prefer to be on one side or the other. I've definitely seen it this year, with some players not. I mean, mind you, maybe because of the success that they were having in the league, they made sure that they kept their mouth shut. But then there was also some players that normally talk trash and decided just to kind of like, do like a snake eyes and not say a word and try to get as many wins and be unsuspecting as they could. So it's going to be interesting because now in the playoffs, like the focus, the bright lights, the shining lights, the spotlight, it's on a selected few right now. So there's no hiding. Yo, DC, you did say that you're going to make top four. You did make top four. Mind you, DC, everybody says that though. You did do it, but every competitor says, I'm going to make top four. And when they do it, they do it. You know what I'm saying? So it's one of those things. So much respect. DC is now top four. Okay. Yo, respect on the bits. Thanks for the support, guys. I'm building this channel one supporter at a time. Okay. Now the next up, I'm gonna talk really briefly about this opponent. Ranked third, representing Man City, 51 points. I'm not gonna go too crazy about it, but really briefly, and again, I'm spitting facts. As a player in this league, I represented in the top four, number one for the most weeks throughout the entire year. Played the most consistent soccer throughout the entire year. I was the most consistent communicator with my opponents. I was probably the most accommodating opponent for anyone that had to play against me throughout the entire year. I want to get my matches in. I want to be the best possible example of what the IEGA stood for. And I think that FIFA karma came back and was really good for me, being essentially tied with the number one at 51 points. All right. So like Blaze mentioned, there's targeting and there's being targeted, and I was targeted for I want to say the entire year. It's that pressure that I definitely want to experience. I want to get accustomed to, because there's no hiding from it. So at third, but still tied amongst the number one spot, is where I wanted to be. DC said he saw himself being top four. I saw myself being number one, and I'm not number one based off of goal differential. All right, it is what it is. But I played my matches. I got my battles in. And I'm not upset with that. Not upset with that at all. Next up, we've
Hold
got.
on, Vader. Hold on.
Oh,
You're right
my
now. I
bad.
know you're broadcasting on behalf of the IEGA. You don't
Absolutely.
have your hood on right now.
Right.
You got your humble game on right now. We've had many offline conversations
No, don't
between
ever bring
you,
up an offline
myself.
conversation again.
All right. Well, we've
This
had
guy's
some
baiting out
on
offline
the record.
conversations.
We've had on the record conversations between you, myself, and A Blaze, who's in the party chat right now. And there is for those who don't know, this Vader games that you're seeing, what compared to the Vader games when he puts that hood on, it's night and day. I think his clothes even change. They get darker. He has this persona that is so demanding and threatening towards the competition this year that he didn't lose. I think more than even 3 games all season. You can correct me if I'm wrong there. I know you're mad
No,
about every loss, but
yeah. No, I think I ended up having. No, I think I ended up having 5 losses, 5 or 4
okay.
losses.
So
I mean,
nonetheless, he
a
was
lot more
getting let go
confidence
to
this year.
a lot more confidence,
A
and
lot more.
every loss
This guy's
felt
want to talk to you
like
about
it was
confidence.
the end of the world. So this Vader games, I know he's kind of glossing over himself. He doesn't want to speak too much on himself, but let me tell you one thing about him is of all the competitors who've been that gold group, that gold standard so far during the regular season, Vader's been not only the most consistent, but he's also been uh, the most telling of who can kick into another gear. He never had to worry or fret about each of his opponents that he went night in night out against because he always had the prepared game plan. So I can just imagine that if you're giving him 2 days to prepare for 2 opponents in a group stage, it's not going to spell well for them. So I'm definitely looking for him to be one of the favorites to move out of whatever group he's assigned.
Mm. Well, moving forward, anything that we discuss offline. I don't even want you to mention that we had an offline conversation. All right, we're gonna make sure we're gonna establish that once and for all. And in addition to that, again, it's all a perception thing. I've not to give you guys too much of a history, but we had an interesting conversation the last couple nights where it was a full party chat with myself, Young Bruce, A Blaze, I'm the one, not the two, SK Bala. Really fun night of gaming, and it's all about perception. Again, I'm not a braggadocious player, but I am a very competitive and I'm a very competitive and trash talking type player. So with that being said, when matches are going down, I'm going to challenge you. I'm not necessarily going to say that you as a player or suck or horrible compared to me, but I'm gonna challenge you as a player. Now the guys were quick to tell me that I sucked flat out, said that I sucked back in the day.
I never
Now
said that.
Yeah, you did.
No, I
the
said he's a lot better. I never said he sucked. I never said he sucked.
okay, all right.
You're being
Never.
nice.
So viewers,
Yeah, you definitely did.
the one thing that happens is this is for me. This is just motivation for me, and I don't want anyone to correct how they are. But if and a lot of it, again, I said I didn't want to talk too long about it. I'm going to end up talking long about it. If you guys know, I'm a big brother. All right, I'm a big brother, so I'm accustomed to defending those that are being challenged unfairly, in my opinion. I'm accustomed to like stopping things that I think are unjust. All right. I don't expect people to do that for me. I definitely don't. But for me, I do register whether things are said or done, if they happen or don't happen. Now, if someone flat out says, for example, if someone flat out says, you suck. If I disagree, I'm gonna be like, nah, man, he doesn't suck. All right. Even if I don't need to defend them any more than that, but I'm gonna challenge that comment. So when men's don't, that for me is bulletin board material. It could be wrong. It could be wrong. I could be wrong for doing that. But if someone says, "Yo, Bader sucks," and a next man that's supposed to be one of my brethrens is just quiet about it, that's bulletin board material. In with regards to the league play, it's just bulletin board material with regards to league play. Now, men's were quick to tell me that I sucked from back in the day. All right. Now, season 2, I happened to finish Season 2, I happen to finish fourth in the league. All right. Season 3, I happen to finish. I don't know where I finished. Season 3. What was season 3? Who won it?
I
Season
don't think
3.
you. I don't think you made out the group grade 8.
Season 3. Okay, maybe I. No, I've always won. I've always won my first match. Okay, it doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. So, but I've got a top 4 finish. I've got a top 3 finish. I had a top 8 finish last year. I've been pretty consistent in terms of my gameplay, but the perception is that I've sucked. So for me, and we had a really deep conversation about feeling confident, thinking you can win, all that kind of stuff. So there's added motivation there. It's not a change in what the mission is. The mission's always the same. You guys know if you compete in the IEGA, the mission is to win the IEGA. But whether you whether something that is said or not said about you gets you fired up a little more, that does happen. Ian believes that he's hearing a little more from me this year. I don't know when it started for him to think or hear that there's a little more from me this year, but the mission hasn't changed. I know that there's incredible gameplay and very good competitors in this league. And you can have, unfortunately, if the timing's not right, you can have someone that's either on fire, or you can unfortunately have one of the poorest games of the season for yourself. It goes that quickly. But what you have to do, you have to trust the process, and you have to build on what you're doing and be as consistent as possible. And that's what the playoffs are going to be. You guys are going to learn really quickly. You got to be consistent in this playoff format to have success. That's enough about me right now. Let's wrap this up for the year recap. At number 2, also with 51 points, just like myself, is Mackenzie, Mackenzie is representing Paris, PSG. All right, a very good team. He is taking full advantage of the team makeup with regards to Neymar and Mbappe, and it's the first year that he's using PSG, and he's having great success. Number 2 in the league. The difference here is with regards to goal differential. This player is very adaptable. He'll find a way to win. I've told him from before, this guy will play any style of game necessary to win. All right. So in past years, he's always made the playoffs. Is that true? I don't think he's always made. I think year 1 he didn't make it out of the group stage, but I think previous years he's made it into the knockout stage and has been knocked out. Last year he wasn't able to continue on in the playoffs. Circumstances came up, so he wasn't able to play in the knockout stage. And there was a replacement player who took full advantage of it. At number 1, using FC Barcelona, Casper is the player representing FC Barcelona. He as well has 51 points, ranked number 1, and and he's doing his thing. First full year within the league. He participated last year in the Wild Games. Oh no, actually, this is his second year in the league, so he didn't have great success last year, but he did. He was able to win in the Wild Games. I finished second in the Wild Games, but Casper was able to win in the Wild Games, and now he is ranked number 1, a 3-way tie with him, Mackenzie, and myself, 51 points with Barcelona. He is definitely going to be a problem. He puts in his hours. He plays ultimate foot. He, like Mackenzie, will do whatever it takes to win a match. So if he happens to know what he needs to take advantage of with regards to personnel or some of the coding within the game, he will definitely do that. He's going to be a problem. The top 4 are going to be a problem. It's going to be very interesting to see how the other players outside of the top 4 are going to be matched up. All right, it's going to be intense, and I'm going to give you guys that draft right now. If any of you prior to me doing the draft want to chime in, I see the comments coming through on the Twitch. If you guys want to be a voice in the broadcast, A Blaze will extend you an invite. You're gonna have to be on you're gonna have to be on your PlayStation, or you're gonna have to call in on either I'm the one not the two's number or A Blaze number if you happen to have it, and we can hear you on the broadcast. All right, the choice is yours. Just let us know in the chat how you want to communicate. Okay, but I'm gonna get things set up for the draft.
I think during
yeah,
the
thank
draft.
you.
I think during the draft, it's best to just leave it. Don't you think? What do you think?
Sure.
I think post draft would be best.
Well, I can ask the question
So,
of the leaders right now. So I can ask, I'm not sure if Mackenzie is on the, let's see. DC is one of the leaders. He can chime in with regards to those that get selected in his group. Let me check real quick to see who else might be online. Okay. All right, let me close this for a second. Do that. Oh, and
Yep.
where am I going to display the grouping?
You can display right on the right there on your screen, because it's a shared document with you.
Okay.
Just go to your shared files.
Oh, I see it.
fuck.
Okay, let me. So do you want to populate the names?
Yeah, I'll populate the names as they draw.
Okay, but do you want to? Okay, let me do this.
Did you want the 4 names to show right now, or did you?
Yeah, you
or
could
did
do
you
that.
want to wait until?
No, you could do that.
All right.
There we go. All right, viewers. On screen right now, you're actually seeing the group stage draft brackets. Okay. So as I mentioned before, at number 1, 51 points, we've got Casper. So Casper is going to be the leader in Group A. Okay. At rank number 2, 51 points as well, we've got Mackenzie using PSG. He's going to be in Group B, leader of Group B. At Group C, we've got Manchester City. That's myself, so I'm going to be the leader of Group C. And in Group D, we're going to have Tottenham Spurs, represented by DC, and that's going to be Group D. Okay. Viewers, thanks for being on the Twitch. I see you, Miggy. Thanks for participating. What's going on? Ooh, DTB says he hopes the grouping is completely random. Why is that, DTB?
Of course.
If it wasn't random, who would be in your group right now? Actually, let me check that out real quick. Why does he want it random? So he's 11. So that means he would be facing. Oh, he would be in my group. Ooh, you're smart, DTB. You're smart. You're smart. So yeah, because you would be in my group if it was based off of. No, I'm lying. Because you would be 11. No, you would be in Mackenzie's group. Ooh, yeah, that's dangerous. You'd be in Mackenzie's group, and then the next up would be. And then Can Game. It would be you, DTB. It would be you, Can Game. Yikes. All right. So those are the leaders of the groups. Let me do that one more time. Group A leader is Casper, representing FC Barcelona. Group B is Mackenzie, representing PSG. Group C, Manchester City, is represented by me, Vader Games. Group D is Tottenham Spurs, represented by DC. All right. Let me share with you guys the names based off of, let me make sure the names are correct here. So the bottom four are Angel, DTB, Miggy, and SK Bala. Okay, so that would be Angel, DTB. All right, so you can see the names here, guys. Oh, that's not quite showing well. Move that over. There we go. Okay, so here's this wheel is completely random. I'm gonna click on the spin, and it's gonna generate a name. That name generated is gonna be the first name generated. Just to be clear, guys, the first name generated is going to go into group. Oh, actually, is the first name generated going into group A, or is the first name generated going into group D?
It's going to Group A.
It's going into group A. Okay, so we're going top to bottom. The very first name drawn. Okay, the very first name drawn is of the bottom four, and the bottom four is represented by SK Bala, Manchester United, Miggy, Liverpool, Inter, DTB, and Milan. Okay, so I'm going to be selecting one name at a time, and they're all going to be going into the subsequent groups. So group A, group B, group C, group D. All right, and the reason why I mentioned this is specifically, guys, the reason why I have to say this specifically is because when it comes down to the playoff matches being played, it will be leader playing against the bottom ranked player first. That will be the first match. Leader and bronze members. That's the first match to go down. All right. Hope you guys are ready. Hope you guys are ready. Here we go. Okay. Any predictions? Who do you think is going to be the first name drawn?
I don't know, man. I have no idea.
Ooh, I'm nervous. All right. Here we go.
Yeah.
Oh, Milan. Milan is the first name drawn. So I'm going to remove.
I couldn't see it.
What do you mean you can't see it?
Oh, there we go. Sorry, I was a little delayed.
Your internet. So Milan is drawn. I'm going to remove them. I'm removing them from the wheel right now. They're removed from the wheel. There's only 3 names remaining. Let's go and see the name populate into the group right now. Okay, Barcelona and Milan. All right, here we go. All right, Group B. Okay, you guys ready? How you feeling, Angel? Angel, you can't be feeling good about that. Actually, how did you match up? Against Casper? I wonder. All right, here we go.
This wheel is hype.
Yeah, respect.
Teddy.
Here we go. This is Group B. This is for Group B.
This wheel is hype.
Trust me.
Oh, Group B. Manchester United. Ooh. Okay, Manchester United is now in Group B. I'm going to remove the name. I'm moving slow because IM's internet needs to catch up. So I'm going to be removing Manchester
I just
United.
need to hear it calls out.
Okay, Manchester United was the name drawn. Removing them from the wheel. And let's go to the group and see it populated. Boom. Oh, that's magic. That is some magic, okay? So Group B right now has Mackenzie and SK Bala, PSG and Manchester United. Okay, we're going back to the wheel. Oh man. Miggy says yes. Okay, so Miggy's happy, I guess, with either group. Okay? We're gonna hit the wheel right now.
I think Miggy wants that last group.
You think Miggy wants the last group?
100%.
Alright, here we go.
I don't want to see Teddy in that last group because I feel like him and DC, they have a history and that can go either way. I think for him
Ooh,
to for him
okay.
to
Inter
go further, I think he. Ooh,
enters in Group C. Enters in Group C. I am not gonna lie. I did not want Inter in my group. Did not want Inter in my
Mm.
group. Did not want that. I did not want that. Okay. All right. And just so everything's on the up and up, you guys, I'm gonna remove Inter from the wheel. I obviously don't need to spin the wheel, but I'm gonna spin the wheel again. Make it official.
make you so excited right now.
We got Liverpool. We got Liverpool in the final group. Remove. All right. So we got. So the teddy bear goes. Let's go battle of ugly goals. All right, man. It is gonna be. It is gonna be kind of ugly, but hopefully I can get 3 or 4 ugly goals. Keep the tradition going. Miggy's go come with it. Let's get with it, DC. Oh, he wants DC. Okay, I'm gonna remove his name. All right, so viewers, all the names populated right now are from the bronze. Those were players in the bronze standings. Okay, they got drafted, they got selected, and now they're entered in their appropriate groups. The next, the next selection now, the next selection from the IEGA wheel, completely random, will be for the players that were in the silver now to be placed into the group stages. Okay. Oh, and I'm gonna do a quick recap of the names right now. We've got FC Bayern representing Chalaco. We got Juventus representing Game Toronto. We got Napoli representing represented by Can Game. We got Arsenal represented by A Blaze. These players could have all easily been in the gold rankings. Okay, they all played high level soccer throughout the season. FC Bayern, Juventus, and Arsenal, all 3 of those players and teams were in the top. Were in the top. Well, actually, they were all ranked number 1 at what point within the season, I believe. All right, they were all ranked at 1 within the season. All right, we're getting some comments on the Twitch channel right now. Game Toronto says, "I want C or B."
Damn.
Oh wait, play get me in C or D. Oh, I think he wants to play with in any group, I guess. Okay, so we're gonna look. Okay, now right now Group A. So the next name drawn is gonna go into Group A. They are gonna play against FC Barcelona or Milan. Okay, we're gonna draw the name. All right, here we go. Game Toronto says, "God be on my side." Wait, Game Toronto, what do you want? What? I don't know. I don't know what he's saying right now. Oh, Game Toronto wants DC's group. Okay. All right. We'll see. We'll see. Here we go.
Mm.
So the name selected here is going to be entered into Group A. Here we go. Juventus. Juventus is in Group
Whoa.
A.
Wow. Wow.
Whoa.
Wow.
Whoa. Whoa. Whoa.
That
whoa.
is a heavy group. That is a heavy group. Let's remove the name.
Damn.
Let's go to the IGA group standings. There's a lot of history here, guys. You know what? There's a lot of history. FC Barcelona and Juventus. The regular season, I'm sure Game Toronto can speak to what happened within the regular season, but there's definitely unfinished business, and I think it's fitting that it's going to happen in the group stage. I think it's fitting that those guys can battle it out in the group stage. Let's see. I'm waiting to see if there's any comments that are going to be populated within the chat. GameTron says, Casper, it's time, baby. Yeah, you know what? I don't like it. I don't like it when when a next man calls me baby. You know what I'm saying? Casper can't be happy with that.
But is that fake confidence though? Because he asked for C and D, not A or B.
It's true, but maybe he asked for C and D because he wanted the tougher challenge. In his eyes.
No one want that.
Oh, he goes, see you in the great, it's not the great four. This is a Fantastic Four.
I didn't say it.
No, GameTron to go, see you in the great four.
It's fresh. They're fresh.
Very fresh, very fresh. Okay, all right, let's move on. Okay, let me get rid of that. All right, so next name up is going to go in Group B. Okay, and the remaining names: FC Bayern, FC Bayern, Arsenal, and Napoli. Okay. All right, here we go. I'm nervous, man. Should I say what I want to happen?
Yes.
But I don't want it to happen. No. I want to say what I want to happen, but I don't want the opposite to happen.
I want to hear what Blaze wants to happen because this might affect him.
Don't matter to me, man.
Oh. I'm gonna speak straight up. I'm gonna speak straight up. I would like Blaze's name drawn right now because that means his name would not be drawn for Group C.
Mm-hmm.
Straight up. All right, I'm clicking on the name right now. There we go. Oh, damn it! Damn it. Napoli. Damn it, it was like a fraction. It was almost Blaze's name. It was like a fraction. Oh.
So, hold up.
Oh, the chat's going crazy right now.
Yeah. Alright, DC. Keep it up. Please
Damn.
keep it up.
All right, let's go to the IEG group. We see it's populated. Napoli's in Group B. Oh man, I definitely don't. This sucks. The Karma Gods would be fitting to put Blaze and DC in the same group.
Yeah. That would be fitting.
Come on, Karma Gods, FIFA Gods.
I know Migs does not want Blaze in that group.
He'll say he does.
All right.
Everyone's gonna say they do, and they know they don't.
That's whack. See, I know it. Blaze,
Whoa.
Arsenal.
So close. So freaking close.
Wow.
You sound so disappointed.
So freaking close.
Oh, why do you sound so disappointed?
Me and Vader get matched up in, well, not last year, but most years we get matched up in group stage. I think last year is the only year it didn't happen.
Yeah, I think 2 or 3 years. It's whack.
That's a tough group, man.
No, all right. Let me
It's a tough group. I didn't have much luck against Teddy.
make it official. Clicking on the name FC Bayern.
Don't sleep on that Group D. That is a killer group.
Is it though?
FC Bayern.
Yes.
Oh shoot! Actually, Shalako, yeah, that's a deadly group still.
That's a sick group, man. That and Group B, I don't know.
No,
All
all
these
the
groups
groups
are
are hard.
nasty. All
Yeah.
these groups are really nasty.
All right, we got to talk about it. We want to open up the chat. Who would we like to invite first to the party?
I think DC's chomping at the bit.
I'm sure. I'm sure he is.
Damn, all these groups are crazy.
That really sucks. That freaking sucks.
I'd like to say this, that I think Group B is probably the most leveled competitive field amongst all the groups. So that's what
What?
I really have no idea who's
Group B?
going to advance out of Group B. Yeah, I have no idea. Like that's literally a coin flip.
That's a tough one.
And I usually don't say that because I don't believe in can't game, but this year, I don't know, man. He's made me a believer.
Has he?
Why?
He has. Because he's performed. He's performed at least very impressive on one of his two legs against every opponent so far this season. So he can't be written off. He's not the can't game of old. Like we have to stop calling him can't game and actually respect his name.
Yeah,
I never call him can't game. I always call him can't game.
I do. I call him that all. I think I made it up the name.
Oh, whoa.
So I will be calling him that. No, I definitely made up the name. Be quiet. The only name you made up was yours. We see how that
Oh, you
worked
made
out.
it up.
Hell no.
Freaking right.
Worst Call of Duty teammate in history.
So, yeah, this guy's name baited out his location every time.
I'm a sniper. Who cares? I'm back there.
Okay,
Yeah, you're
real
not a team
quick,
player, listen
real
to him.
quick. Blaze, you're the party chat owner. You can invite members as you see fit. One thing, can you give a little bit of context with what will happen with regards to the group stage and knockout stage? The reason why I say that is because it'd be good reference, and because I'll make a highlight so that people can come back and hear this. But at the same time, it's going to be best for guys to prepare their strategy prior to being told things the day of.
Right. Okay. So, in regarding the group stage, each group is going to perform on one day each this week. So, Group A will play their first legs on Wednesday. Group B on Thursday, so on and so forth, all the way through till Saturday prime time. Now, all matches are played at the same time. There are no gaps where I'll play my first opponent, I'm going to go away, eat lunch, come back, maybe take a nap, get prepared for my next opponent. There is none of that. All the matches are back to back to back. So between the three opponents, they'll coordinate that so that they're playing consecutive for a 2 to 3 hour stretch, depending on how quickly they can get their games in. Now, Bear alluded to it. The top group leader will end up playing the bronze group, so the gold plays the bronze, and then after that, the winner will stay on, and they'll end up, or sorry, the loser will stay on, and then they'll end up playing the silver opponent, and then whoever matches up there will end up playing the gold. So you have to be prepared to play consecutive games, be ready, have your eyes adjusted, because it's not easy. It's intense. Sometimes you get those FIFA eyes, but there aren't any breaks. You won't get any match updates to how other opponents may be doing. You're just in there locked in, and I think one thing that guys have been great about in the regular season and will carry it into the postseason is we really believe in fair play. Everyone's on the same level playing field. No one's trying to get an unfair competitive advantage. When you're in your group stage, you will not be watching your other opponents while you're playing. So that is a very big no-no. The league takes that extremely seriously because we do not like guys having an unfair edge over the competition, especially going into a group. So just be prepared for that. If you're while you're waiting for your matches, if you have a camp where you like to play unfriendlies with, or if you have just play a couple seasons games, keep yourself warm. go ahead and do that, but it is prohibited to watch your opponents play their match while you're in the group stage. Um, Another thing to do is be aware of the rules. I can't stress enough how funny for me, because I like seeing it happen, but how sad it is to see guys not advance because they fail to gloss over the rules. It's very similar to the regular season,
It's
but
not sad. I
one of
don't
the
feel
most
any
important.
ways about it.
But it's very important for when you're in the group stage to make sure that you're recording your yellow cards, your suspensions, your red cards, because that rule is now coming in effect. So you'll have to adjust your strategy accordingly, because if your guy in back-to-back matches gets one yellow card and then the second match gets another yellow card, they're unable to play against your second opponent that you have in your group stage. So you'll have to adjust accordingly. No reckless side tackles. Don't take unnecessary rides, because that person will not be available for your following match. So be aware of the red card, suspension, and injury rule. Uh, and another thing to be aware of is how many points you need in order to advance. There's no easy game. As we just looked at the different groupings, there's no easy match. If you can pick out an easy match, I'll tell you that guy's a fool and he's probably going to get eliminated, because he's going to end up having 2 down games, and sure enough, he's going to give up 6 points. So be aware of how many points you roughly need to do in order to secure yourself into the Great 8, the round of 8 players there. And you have to attack your first 2 games as hard as possible. Those are going to be your best 2 possible matches in order to come away with the victory. So I just hope that they come up with the right mindset and the right aggression in order to secure the win. I don't know if I really missed anything. Maybe you guys can touch on it.
No, so I think what you provided from a recap is really important. Obviously, because it's going to be a group night of games, the coordination between all 3 players is really important. We need everyone to show flexibility. Not everyone's going to have the ideal start or end time with regards to something like this, so we need everyone to be flexible and to get the matches in. Um, uh, and also, everyone, please understand that of all matches, the playoffs, we're going to be stressing quality internet. We're also going to be
Oh
stressing
yes.
that your Twitch is available, because we're gonna have to make sure that, again, everything is fair play. Everyone's competing in the same conditions. Everyone's gonna have the same pressures or the same stress. Some players don't Twitch on the regular, and I know some of it is because of anxiety. Some players haven't been twitching because their internet hasn't been the best quality. Now, of all time, is when you want to make sure all that is nice and tight, because, and again, I'm speaking for myself. I know I'm not wearing the hoodie, but I am not. I am not playing a laggy match. I am not doing that. There's too much at stake right now. So everyone, make sure you get your things together. Let's put on a great show over the playoffs, and also with regards to the format, understand that the leader is going to be playing against the bronze player first off. The best performer between those 2 matches will get a rest. The loser will play again, and they will play against the silver opponent within that group. Okay, so that needs to be 100% clear. The league will remind you of who will be home first. And on top of that, it's about playing your matches through. Okay, um, I I don't believe that will the league be communicating um, wins and goals scored throughout the rounds?
Yes, we will.
Okay,
They'll be posted at the end of each match,
at the
so
end of
that
each
guys
match.
can go into at the end of each match, just so that guys have the right mindset of what they need to do in order to accomplish in both legs.
Okay, all right. So that will be the case. Hopefully, all that is very straightforward for you guys. Um, I'm trying to think if there's anything else. The league will give you guys information on how they would want you to title the Twitches with regards to the playoffs. You want to have a great consistency to make the awareness, put the word out so everyone's familiar with IEGA and that it's playoff season. And I know that everyone's in the playoff mode, man. I mean, NHL, NBA, IEGA, everyone is amped up for the playoffs. It's the right time. I love this time of year. Freaking love this time of year. I want to talk about these matchups, to tell you the truth, before I sign off here. Because Group A, deadly. Group A is deadly because of the history between Casper and Game Toronto. Those two.
They have history?
Oh yeah, they have history because of their first and second leg. And I respect the amount of trash talking and the competitiveness that went down. So those guys are definitely going to want to settle things because they hold up. Because Casper, Game Toronto was undefeated to Casper during the regular season. So he's got to be confident. He's got to be confident with his group setup right now. I would be surprised if he probably won. Did you win both matches against Angel, Game Toronto, or was it a win and a draw? Because I think Game Toronto is undefeated against both of his opponents in his group. Yeah, he says I'm undefeated. Yeah, yo, that's crazy. That's crazy. So Group A is deadly. Game Toronto, in my opinion, has the edge, having been or is undefeated against both opponents. Now, if I'm looking at Group B, and we got Mackenzie, we got SK, and we got Can Game, I'd be surprised. I believe that it was a loss and a draw for SK against Mackenzie. So Mackenzie's got to be feeling confident against SK. I know that SK and Can Game split. I don't know what the situation was between Can Game and Mackenzie. So like I mentioned earlier, that is a toss-up. That is a toss-up group. But the fact that Mackenzie is number one with 51 points, I'm going to give the edge to him. And funny enough, SK Bala is the bronze player, but I'm going to give the edge to SK because he won last against Can Game. That's crazy. Now Group C, you guys know I already hate this group because of the games that I had against the teddy bear. I had to score ugly goals to actually win my matches. I can't rely on ugly goals to win. And then the familiarity that I have with A-Blaze is always a tough matchup, and I hate the fact that I have to play that match as well. So Blaze and I split during the regular season. I was able to win. I was able to win both matches against Teddy, but I'm not happy with this group at all. I think Teddy has split success, or maybe did he win and draw, or did you guys split? Blaze?
Yo, what'd you say? Sorry about that.
Did you
I
guys
just looked at the chat.
Did you win and draw with? Did you split with Teddy, or did he win and draw with you?
No, he won and draw with me.
Okay.
Damn.
And then me and you split.
Right. So that's gonna be a tough way to call, because I think the final match that Teddy and Blaze had was a draw. So that was an intense match. And now when we go into Group D, we go in Group D. I believe that DC and MiG split. So those guys should feel fairly confident amongst each other in that matchup. And then against Chalaco, correct me if I'm wrong, Migs or DC, but how did you guys fare against Chalaco during the regular season? How'd things go with you? I think DC might have split with Chalaco. And I think Migs might have split with Chalaco. That's a toss-up. That's another group. That group's a toss-up. I'm gonna wait for the chat to catch up.
Yeah, the chat's pretty active right now.
That is crazy.
Undefeated during the season doesn't always carry over. That's the thing. Like, You know what's huge? You know what's huge? The cards. Because one thing I noticed this year is there are some slide tackle happy people in the league.
Yep.
I'm not gonna say any names, but there are some people who slide tackle like crazy, yo. And yeah, they make some amazing tackles, but they're super risky. Super risky. And I don't know. I don't know if EA made a difference in the slide tackling this year. Maybe they made it a little bit easier, or people just got better at it. I don't know, but yeah, that's going to be a huge factor.
Oh, gotcha. So, I'm catching up with the chat. So DC says, I believe it's against Chalaco. Is it against Chalaco or Migs? DC. Because DC, I know you lost. I think you split with Migs. And are you saying against Chalaco, he beat you and he tied with you? So you actually have the poorer record against your opponents in Group D, DC. I know you're playing better soccer now, but I think you're probably the most vulnerable one.
Yeah, because Migs also split with Shellacco. They split.
Oh, yeah, that's a tough group. That's a very tough group. Game Toronto says, "Hey Blaze."
I'm not sure what he was talking about there.
I'm not sure either, but he says he's walking out of his group with a beer in his hand.
He's singing to Cakewalk, Doc.
Wow.
That's interesting.
Wow.
DC's he's trying to get in this group. He wants to let us know how he's really feeling.
Hey, I'm cool with that. The recap is done. Let me timestamp this so I know where to edit. But
I'm gonna have to attend to something, so I won't be able to stay for the entire time. Is he coming in now?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Never let us. Remember?
Blaze, are you leaving because DC's joining? That's rude.
You're an idiot. If DC does what he has to do, we will face each other.
Game Toronto's going to his PlayStation now as well. Alright, let me close this for a second.
You remember?
Interesting.
Never loved us.
It's a big tune.
Trust me.
Yo, V365, appreciate the donation, man. Good looking out. Yo, appreciate that.
Is that the playoff anthem?
So V365 goes, no problem, bro. Here's some encouragement. I'm a new streamer myself, and I can tell you work hard to get the stream to the quality that it is. Keep up the good work. Here's some encouragement. Yo, V365, much respect, my guy.
Yeah, respect, yo. That's tight.
Much respect. I'm gonna show the same. I'm definitely gonna hit up your channel, my guy. Definitely gonna hit up your channel. All right, we're making it happen out here. All right, so Blaze sent out the invites. We'll have a little bit of conversation, and then we'll shut.
Okay, send it out now. So who am I? Let me see here. So we're inviting DC. And who else?
Game Toronto.
DC.
If anyone else wants in, let us know in the Twitch stream. Let us know in the chat.
Okay, yeah, those two. Sent it to those two.
All right, big ups.
Teddy, I don't know if Teddy wants to be in. He didn't say anything.
Yeah, might as well.
All right.
You can do the same for Chalaco too, if he's still online.
No, he's not.
Hey, what it do?
What it do, guys? You're on IEGA.
Blaze, are you leaving because I'm in the party now? Do I own you that bad?
You know why you're gonna talk now? Because I'm not in your group. You should.
Before I was
But if you do,
wanted you.
yeah, because there's nothing else to do but talk. You're a nobody.
Listen,
You're trying to be a name.
Listen,
I am a name.
remember the last time you beat me, man. I really don't. I really don't remember the last time you beat me.
But DC, that he's not
you know
even in your
what?
group right now. I want to hear about you and your group.
Yeah. Why do you talk about
Let DC talk, because you remember when DC was talking about how he didn't remember this and didn't remember that, and how he doesn't remember any time me beating him last season. And I had to put the video of our group stage, and you could hear him crying, dog. You could hear him crying. And you could hear the nerves in his voice. I'll say this. When I played, that was last year. Shut up. It was last year.
Yes.
Last year I took a hiatus. Watch this. Last year I was gone for a month. Dog. No FIFA at all. Came back and he was beating on me. Okay, fine. As soon as I got back into the rhythm of things, played in the league, played in playoffs, had him, and he was crying like how you heard him, yo. You heard it right there. Then at the end of the season, I have more clips. When I was having a quota of getting 6 goals. You guys remember that? My quota was 6 goals. Yeah. And he's in many of those highlights too, so he can keep on talking, yo. He can keep on talking, because I have clips for days of how he really gets when I'm on my game. So he can talk all he wants right now, but I'm going to embarrass him if he doesn't stop, dog. I'm going to embarrass him really, really bad.
Well, you guys ain't even in the same group, though.
Exactly.
We're not. But if he does what he has to do, he'll play me. But I don't know why. That's another thing about me. You know I'm a name. You know I'm a name. You know I'm a name when someone's not even in my group, and they still want to talk to me, dog. I'm making careers out here, dog. I'm making careers.
Oh man.
I'm making careers. I'm the first name he said. You know how much of a compliment that is?
Yikes.
You know how much a compliment that is? Have I not taken up space in his brain?
You know?
Nah, man.
Yes.
Nah,
Absolutely.
DC, what do you think of your
Absolutely.
group? DC, what do you think of your group?
My group, I think I'm the underdog. I think it's gonna be a hard group, but you know
You
what?
think you're the underdog? Talking like that? Now you're falling back into underdog? That's cowardly. That is cowardly. I'm the underdog. I'm the underdog.
Why do you think you're the underdog?
It's all a bonus. It's all a bonus if I get through, because I'm the underdog.
No, I've been slept on this whole season. No one thought I would make top 4. I made top 4. I called it. But there's no credit to it. Everyone says it. It's fine.
Have you heard
whatever.
a top 4 player in the gold group ever say they were an underdog in the history of the IEGA or PSPL? Not one
No, it doesn't
time.
make sense. It doesn't make any sense.
You're an embarrassment
like
to
to
the
be
gold
different.
group. I'm the underdog in the top seed, man.
Right,
Yeah.
who's in his group?
That's horrible.
Who's in his group?
I don't know. It doesn't even matter. This guy's the underdog. What's the gold
I'm the
member?
underdog. Yeah.
But who's in his group?
That's pathetic.
Chiwako and Miggy.
Oh shit, both of those guys put some work on you. I understand why you feel that way.
He didn't put no work on me.
Chalaco and Nikki, he said she was the underdog.
He tied me with a 90 and he beat me with a 90.
So-
It won't happen again,
So
man.
then why do you think you're the underdog?
Yo!
Listen, man.
This is funny, dog.
Why do you think you're the underdog?
I'm not gonna talk because, man, you said it yourself. I'm the one that has the least amount of edge in the group. You said it yourself.
Yeah, but do you believe
Did
that?
he say that?
He did say that. He says I got the least amount of edge in the
You don't
group.
think that was just commentary purposes?
I don't know.
I didn't hear,
I'm
but you know.
So just because he said that? Just because he said that?
It's on the Twitch. It's on the Twitch.
So hold on, DC. You have confidence talking to Blaze, but you don't have confidence in your group?
No, I have confidence.
He doesn't
I
have
have
confidence neither.
I have confidence. I'm gonna come out of that group
As the underdog. As the underdog.
laughing
Good
as
job.
the
I'm rooting
underdog.
for you. I'm rooting for you, underdog.
This one still, I hope you don't do what Cat
Laughing
Game
at
did.
them.
Oh,
Don't
man.
laugh too hard.
Listen, Can't didn't do anything on me. Can't
I don't know. I was just laughing the way you
beat me.
you
He
said
beat
that.
me. I think he's beaten me twice in the whole game, and one he got me right after I smacked him up 5-0, and I was
Talking
pissed
about the
off.
league, and I was just saying. I was going to talk about the league. And just like
I
you
don't
did,
need to
right?
talk about Can't Game anymore because I got my consolation match. That's dead.
And he's not even in
He
your
knows
group.
what's up.
This is
Yeah,
what I'm
that's
talking
why
about.
my
This is
group-
why I did not pick
Who is in this
DC
guy's
to go
group?
through
Why
to
is
the
DC
great
in
game
here?
because
Talk about it.
it's hard
He's
for
not
it's hard
focused
for him to
exactly.
focus on his group, and that's
Go
why
that ham.
I couldn't pick him as one of my picks to go far enough in this postseason. I
I'm
just don't see
I'm
it.
not focused on my group because my group is easy.
Oh, good.
You just said you're the underdog, though.
This guy's confused,
Yeah,
dog.
Small
This
talk.
is nerves.
Small talk.
Are you hearing the nerves
I'm
right
not
now? He's all over the
I told you,
place.
I told you, the kid just wants to hear himself talk, though.
I was saying I was the underdog because I felt very offended that Vader called me the underdog in that group.
No, I just see this is the problem,
should've started
DC.
with that,
Hold
that's
on,
it.
hold on, hold on. This is the problem, and I tried to be really clear. I'm just telling you guys how things played out throughout the regular season, right? So throughout the regular season, you split with Migs. And did you not?
That
Okay, hold on. Correct me when I'm wrong, but if I'm right, just be quiet. You split with Migs, and against Chalaco beat you and he tied you, right?
yes, sir.
Okay, so
Yes,
based
sir.
off of that, yes, you are number 4 overall in the entire league. But within your group and how things are matched up, you don't have a favorable group. That's all I said.
Migs, what do you have to say about what he's saying right now?
But
He's
when you
online.
say that and then I say the same thing, I get shit on for it.
No, but the thing is,
Migs,
The
what do you have to
fact,
say?
and it's the fact.
no, but that's no, but see,
Please
'cause I'm-
message Migs. Please
yeah,
message him
message it.
Twitch.
I'm stating a fact on how things played out, but it's for you now that you're in the group to say how you see it, not regurgitate what I say. So if I say you're the underdog, you don't have to say yes, I'm the underdog. You say what you actually believe.
I believe I'm gonna come out of that group. I'm not
Okay.
worried about it.
Okay. All right.
I'm not worried about it.
All right.
I'm really not worried about it.
Yo,
What-
if someone says it that many times, the first time they're saying it, the second time they're trying to convince themselves, the third time they're trying to convince everybody else. Come on, man, what are you talking about?
You guys can laugh.
Everybody else.
You laugh now, I'll laugh later. It's fine. You laugh now, I'll laugh later. It's no problem. It's no problem.
Migs is laughing too.
Listen,
Migs is
I
laughing
got
too.
something to say real quick. The reason
What?
why I was typing I want CRD in my thing, I want those groups, is only because, no bullshit, I feel Casper and Mackenzie are the guys that I'm going to have to take out to get to this championship. So I wanted to see them in the finals. I felt that anyone on the lower half of the side there I would take out. That's why I wanted. Not because I was scared to drop into any of those groups, because I have beaten the names that are at the top of the list. I'm the only one. I'm the one to give all them losses. Better yet, you said it clearly yourself. I'm undefeated to the guys I'm playing in my group. I don't care what they finished. You get what I'm saying? I don't care where they
Wait, Rudy,
finished on the board.
Rudy. How many times did you lose on the second leg? How many times?
Once.
And who
Only
gave you that
once.
loss? Just
Dude, you lost the
Gave you that
Kank
loss?
game. Dude, you lost the Vader.
no,
Listen,
wait,
the list
wait,
goes on of who the dude
answer
you
the
lost
question.
to.
Don't dodge the question. Don't dodge
I
the
lost to you.
question.
I lost to
Don't
you.
dodge it. Okay, thank you. That's all I wanted to hear.
Did you even score the first time I played you?
Migs had bright lights.
Did you even score the
Migs
first time
has
I played
bright
you?
lights.
Dog, I
Can you
didn't.
please
I
sit
didn't.
in the corner when I'm talking about
When
something I'm taking on
after
the
I
street?
played the game, I realized that I didn't make an
You
adjustment.
realize that you
needed
need to sit in a
The
corner.
second
with a loss.
leg,
You beat
The
me
second
2-1.
leg, when you were
You beat me
talking,
2-1.
I already knew the adjustment I
You
needed to
were
make
talking.
to beat you.
You were talking the entire game. You were pissing me
Interesting.
off. All under my motherfucking skin. And it's not something I'm worried about, dude. Listen, you want me to tell you what I was worried about? I was worried about exactly what I told everyone. SK. He's the only person that beat me. He beat me 5-1.
I beat you.
Everyone else,
I beat you.
listen to me very clearly.
No, he
Everyone
means
else that
he
beat me
means bad.
scored a goal on me. You know what I mean? Like, oh, you went up one. That's not enough to beat me. That's enough for you to say you gotta win. SK beat me 5-1. And
So
then
wait,
took 3 goals. Whoa, hold on there,
winning,
hold on.
Is
And then
winning
took
is
3
winning and
goals on me.
beating something
Hold on.
different? Is it a different definition? Because if you
Yeah, there is a different. There's a definition. Because if I come and punch you in your face and you
So-
fall
so
down,
if I-
you got beating or beat up. But if I come there and give you a fucking Tiger Ultra uppercut, you would know you got beat down, right? There's a difference. Stop this.
I
Stop
don't know,
talking
Mick.
just to talk.
I don't know, Migs.
Stop talking just to talk. I was just talking about some serious shit. You're always talking just to talk.
Ooh.
DC,
I was asking-
I'd like to hear him. I'd like to hear him elaborate on his point because he's making a good point. The fact that if he's undefeated in his group, what does he have to worry about? All he has to do is just recreate that same magic. So that's actually, that's valid. That's valid, Game Toronto.
I
Yeah,
don't understand.
but Game Toronto's never been in the playoffs, so he's gonna get nervous.
No problem.
He's never what
But,
in the
like, listen,
playoffs?
you know what I mean? Everyone could assume what they
He's
wanted
never
to, but
won
if
in-
you guys
yeah,
really want to
he's never
understand the
won in
truth,
the playoffs.
since the second leg, I've only lost 1 game. Okay, since the second leg. So what makes
Who
you
was it
think
to? Who was it to?
it was to you, DC?
Okay,
It was to you, DC.
thank you.
Well, all right, listen, DC.
Just making
DC. Pay attention. Pay attention. It was the only loss I had. So as I'm saying, from then till now, why is the playoffs going to make it any different for me to get any sloppier? I'm playing with guys I'm undefeated against.
Because people adjust.
I don't need to go in here
People
cocky.
adjust.
I just need
Just
to go
like
in
I
here the
adjusted
same way.
against you.
The difference is when I play Casper, he's gonna come in there a different way. Now why? Because not only did I make him look stupid the first game, I gave him back his 2 goals and came back, put 3 on him. The second game, he still lost after all that talking and said he would do it again. And Betty, I'm the only person who's undefeated to that guy at the top of the list.
You didn't
Who are you
lose.
talking
You
to?
guys
Game
tied.
Tron, I want to ask you a question. Game Tron, I want to ask you a
You
question.
guys tied.
With your group, you have Casper and you have Angel in your group, and I know you're feeling pretty confident that you're going to come out of that. Are you
Right.
already looking past them, or are you?
No,
Are
there's
you
no need
still
for me to
gonna
look
tread
past them.
lightly?
I was doing that when I said no, I'm not looking past them. I was doing that looking past them when I was talking about I want C and D. Because if I was on that side of the board, I feel my biggest threats were all up on the higher half. You get what I'm saying? The top half.
Right.
So for me, I wanted to be over here, work my way through here. I believe that was my best chance to get to the playoff. Now that I dropped the group A, not even looking at it, I didn't want to be there. When I looked at it, look who I played. You guys said the facts yourself. Why should I be scared? Like, you know what I mean? My performances in these games, especially, never showed anybody that I should worry about these guys. I guarantee you, when Casper comes into play, he will not be talking rowdy like how he was after the first game. He won't. You remember the second game? Oh, guys, at halftime when I was up 2, oh, guys, man, he got me. He got me. You get what I'm saying? I don't need to worry about playing guys like that.
Yo,
You know
I
what I
had to step away. What happened?
I just need to play. Let me repeat that one for you. Let me repeat that one for you real quick. So when I play, this guy's talking. He's talking about I haven't tied Casper. Listen to me, you clown. I beat Casper my first leg.
He's explaining his group. He's explaining his group because he has Casper and he has Angel in his group, and how he's not looking past them, but he's also not worried about having to play them.
Why? Oh, wait, this is why I said that line to Blaze. When I was saying, hey Blaze, because Blaze says it doesn't really carry over. What I'm trying to say to you is, in those games, did it look like I was struggling to you guys? Like, I understand you want to say maybe me and Vader, maybe me and Blaze, me and even
No, I'm not
DC
saying
wanna
all
say I was
games. I'm not
struggling.
saying all games. I'm just saying in some situations.
All right. Well, the
doesn't always-
matches that it doesn't, right? But the matches that I gotta play, I don't think I'm gonna walk through these. Got DC, I'm Casper, but I'm telling you right now, I'm gonna walk through my son. I'm gonna walk over him. I think I put like 6 goals on him the first time, or 4 goals or something. I'm gonna walk over him like it's nothing, because he's my son.
thanks for the gift,
And
Vader.
Casper, I'm gonna go into that game just like I
What?
was before.
Thanks for the gift.
I don't want to say I figured out Casper, but I know what Casper is gonna
You
do.
know how old that is?
FIFA said,
One
FIFA said you
one
gave me
thing
a
I'd
gift.
Yeah, a long time.
One thing I'd like to elaborate on,
How long ago?
Vader, and you asked about earlier, is
At least like 2
what
weeks
guys
ago.
need to do. In
Are you
the
saying my
group
thank you's
stage.
expired?
No, but I'm just saying
Well, then why did you just say you're welcome?
because I was confused
No,
to
you
what
say what
gift
you're
because it
saying,
was so long ago. I forgot.
I'm saying
Okay,
just
you're gonna say you're welcome
regarding your approach into your group, and I
you
think
said
it's
thank you,
important
that's
for
enough.
all competitors
hello?
across
You
all
said
the
thank
groups
you, that's
to
enough.
know is you
What?
want to play you want to play each match in order to get as many points possible, because
Right.
when the 2 opponents come from each of the individual groups and they go into the Great Eight, they're then going to be seeded based on
Hey, Vader, you want to do some
points.
training matches?
So it's very important. It's very important to get as
Can't
many
game.
points
Can't
as
game.
possible
Can't game.
in order for you to
Activate
make sure that
Vader
you're seeded
formation.
well into the Great Eight.
It's about that time.
Oh man.
Hey Vader,
It
Teddy
is
just joined.
It's about time,
Ooh, Teddy's in the building.
I'm
time.
glad Teddy's here. Teddy and Vader got some good games. I'm
How
gonna
you
bring
doing,
Teddy
Teddy?
into my camp still. I'm gonna bring him into my camp.
Ooh, 3 of us.
Because I feel after I see what Ken Teddy did to Blaze, I know he's ready to do some spectacular shit. I've never seen a game like that before. Honestly, it was magical. It was magical. Teddy versus Blaze. Yeah. Someone could send me a tape so I can watch it again.
I should get
Like
some.
that. On YouTube,
I might have to
there
get
was
some
some
training in with
disgusting
Casper actually.
goals. Yeah, don't worry about Casper, man. He's light work.
I might
If you're
have to
getting, if you're
get
getting
some
training in with him, yo, you'll be figured out by the time you're figured out already. Don't get training with that guy, yo, dog. You know what I mean?
I just want.
Don't get
I
training
want to
with
have to
that guy.
deal
Stick
with
what
like
you're
a. I
doing.
want to deal with like a Messi. I want to have to deal with a Messi, so I know how to just be prepared for one of the top players.
But when we're training,
in the game.
so you want to just make anybody use
Vader,
any.
do you have any questions for Teddy? He just joined the group, and I know he has some feelings about his group. He's
Fired
feeling
up
kind
for
of ways.
Fortnite. He's ready. He's Fortnite ready.
Teddy's not
Yo,
here.
Teddy, how do you feel about your group? I'll ask him. Teddy, how do you feel about your group? Do you feel like you could come out of that group stage unscathed? Who do you got to play? Vader and who else?
And Blaze.
Ooh. Yo, oh fuck! Sorry, hold on. Before anything, I'm telling you, it's art. It's art to see Blaze and Vader. These guys are dreading it every single time they're at the board, and it pops up. It is priceless. This guy said, "I'm not gonna say it. I'm not gonna say it." That's why I said A and C and D. B. I'm telling you, that was priceless. Sorry about that.
It's whack. Whack.
Blaze, I couldn't see Blaze's face. Yo, Blaze, they're both like, "Oh man,
I wanted Blaze's name drawn first.
So Teddy, I got a question for you. Obviously, you got your two other opponents in here. This is, I think, unheard of. I've never seen where all three members of a group have been online to comment about the group post draft at one time. So this will be very interesting. Not to give away too much of your strategy and kind of where your mental's at, but between the two of these guys, both Vader Games and A-Blaze, which of the two do you think is the more dangerous of these two opponents?
That's not fair. That's not fair. I say which one's gonna give you more fair play? That's the danger.
Fair play would probably be Blaze, because Vader's gonna score the ugly goals on me.
I told you I wanted to hear the answer. You had to hear the answer correctly. You had to hear the answer correctly.
That's not even true.
Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it.
that many.
Come on, Vader. Vader, come on.
I really don't.
Teddy, are you happy about this group?
I'm happy to not have to compete more than I thought I'd have to.
So if you had to look at these groups, which group do you think is easier than your group? Because if you don't like your group, there must be an easier one than your group.
I don't think
They're kind of all even.
I think Teddy's gonna do great in that group. It's gonna be shocker who comes out of that group. Anyone got
Teddy's a tough player. Teddy's a tough player.
If Teddy's wheeling that foot like he was in that Blaze game on those two motherfuckers, I'll tell you who's coming out of there.
That first game we played was not. That first game we played was one to remember.
Yo, dog, that's what I was talking about. He was wheeling his foot like he was Ronaldo with every.
It didn't make any sense. It didn't make any sense.
It was just a lucky game.
50-footers.
Nah, Teddy, don't do that. Don't do that, Teddy.
That's another thing. The second game, he was hitting me with the nice guy talk. He was hitting me with the nice guy talk the second game. It was whack.
Oh, man. So, Teddy, do you feel any pressure being, like, this is your rookie campaign? Obviously, when you're your good buddies, DC, he had great run last year as a rookie. Are you feeling pressure to kind of measure up and have similar success, or do you feel like this is your run, there's no parallels, you just have to do your thing?
I just gotta do my own thing. I'm mainly just having fun, so it doesn't matter.
Oh,
It's true, man. It's good for you, man.
It's a good attitude. It's a good attitude to have. Attitude, gratitude. It's a winner mentality.
I think I might have to take 2 days off work.
Now that I think about it. Oh, never mind.
No. Finish your sentence. We're here.
no, listen, DC won't be here.
No,
too long.
I was thinking that there's no
know.
other former champions in the playoffs, but SK's there.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yes.
DNPR. Ugh, I don't want to bring that up again.
It's
Poor
sad
guy.
that the NPR never just came in. It's
Poor
sad he
guy.
never just came in and picked his team, eh? Barcelona. I don't know why the hell he picked everything.
But that's why it looks bad, because he had success with a super
Looks like
team,
a
and then
fluke.
without a super team, he came like dead last.
Yeah.
Yeah, he didn't
You
get a
win
win.
with a super team, and then you don't make the
can't win at
playoffs
all.
without them.
No, what's worse is you don't even get a
That's not
win
cool, Blaze.
without a
That's not
super
cool,
team.
Blaze. That's not
I said I didn't want to talk about it anymore. I won't talk about it anymore.
You don't even get a
Guys,
win.
I went to the grocery store looking in the Hallmark section to see if I can find a condolences card that would just fit for the IEGA, but
That's
I
rude.
couldn't find one. So I couldn't mail it out to him.
That's rude.
Yo, Teddy, you don't need to look up to DC, yo. You ain't no one to look up to. You ain't gonna make it nowhere.
Ouch.
Don't worry about that. guy.
Okay.
Ouch.
And guess what, DC? Here's the best
Rudy,
part about the
wait.
league. All the
Rudy,
talking
Rudy
you're
was
doing-
also
I'm
Rudy
settle
was
your
Rudy,
talking right now,
Rudy
DC.
was
You're
also
on the other
talking
side of the
about
map.
how he only lost once in the second leg, I kept reminding him who I kept asking him who he lost to, and he lost to me.
Alright, but
He kept saying, I only lost one time.
No. Hear what I'm saying to you right now,
That one
DC.
win. Who got that one win on you, huh?
This is
Huh,
the point
buddy?
I'm trying to make. You're on the other
Hey, you
side
know
of the
what?
world
You
to me.
know,
You're just
you
talking
know
about-
how confident I
Keep bringing
was.
them up,
Hey, we
Rudy.
No, listen.
You bringing him up, Rudy.
I never
Hear
brought
me
him
out.
up.
I was so confident about our match.
Yeah, I don't worry about him, yo. He's at the other side of the spectrum.
I was so confident about my match against Rudy that hours
He's so
before
far
my
south, I
match
ain't gotta worry about
against Rudy, I tweeted that I was gonna beat Rudy until to this tweet. That's how confident
When you
I
played me the
was
first
that I was
time,
gonna
you
beat
said
Rudy.
you were gonna. When you said that the first time too, and you didn't even score. You said
No, I
it in your
didn't.
head. Shut
No, I
up.
didn't. I did it. I didn't.
Of course you
Find-
did.
No, I
know what
didn't.
you're talking about.
No, I
Every
didn't.
single time, DC.
I said,
show me a tweet that
the
DC says you
second
won't
leg,
beat.
I
Show me a
knew
tweet.
why I lost to you. I knew why I lost to you. And the second
DC
leg, I
DC,
knew I was
stop
going to
it.
beat you.
DC, but DC, on the real though, on the real, you've already identified that you're a really bad fortune teller. Like I think maybe
No, I'm a really good
You're not good with
fortune.
that. You're not good with-
I am 2-0.
You're not good with
I'm
you're not
2-0.
good with talking about history either. You can't tell
he's
the future
not.
or the past.
No,
So I'm not sure.
And,
I'm not sure what to
and you
listen
can't
to.
accept the you can't accept the present. So, what are you doing here?
All by myself. All by myself. All I know is your facts. Yeah. I'd rather listen to OJ.
right? Okay.
So, because DC, you made it out of the group stage last year, right?
Uh-oh.
DC?
Soft subject.
Wait, I
Well,
made
Nah, he
what?
made it out.
Yeah,
he made it out.
He was out. Yeah. Okay.
But he was second.
Where did he stop at? Where did he stop at?
He was second. He was second.
I ended up third. Just so you know, where'd you end up?
Listen, DC, we had the same group, and I didn't lose. I didn't lose in our group.
That wasn't
That includes
referred to
you.
you. That was referred to Rudy.
Ouch.
Same.
All
You
right.
guys keep talking about ouch. What's so ouch? How much losses does DC have, and how much losses do I have on the season?
Ouch.
That's ouch.
yeah, but that's
Out.
now it's postseason. All that's out the window.
But where did I?
This-
But where
this,
did I
brand
finish, and
new
where did you
start.
finish?
Technicalities, but it's okay.
Oh.
Don't worry, baby. Listen, all I need to know is this. DC, I love that I was your main attention. I'm nowhere near you now. You don't even need to mention my name. To play me,
You keep
you gotta
bringing
make
me
it
up.
top 3.
You
Hey,
you
princess,
keep bringing me up.
stop screaming. Stop screaming and listen, man. Stop screaming and listen, princess.
Can someone
Bring it
tell
down
this
a level.
man that
Hey, level
I think you're in
indoor
love with
voice.
me?
Indoor voice, son. Indoor voice, son.
Okay.
Take it down a level. Listen to me. Listen to me. You don't need to worry about me. You're over there.
It's kind of on screen.
Then stop
I'm over
talking
here.
about me.
I'm not talking about you, dog. I don't even.
Yes, you are. You've been talking about me.
Okay. One thing
Do I
I want
need
to
to
tie this. Let
screenshot
me
every
tie this
single
back to
tweet
the
that comes
IGA.
through?
Let me tie it back to the IGA real quick.
That would be
So,
interesting if those guys were in the same group.
so everyone,
No, it wouldn't have been. It would be a fucking funny joke.
everyone's gonna have to make sure that they free themselves up as of when
As of Wednesday.
Wednesday.
So the matches are Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday.
That's
Okay. All right, Wednesday, Thursday.
I also want to bring up that Blaze keeps talking about that he beat up on me in last FIFA, but
No, I did not bring that up. You brought it up. No,
Okay.
DC, don't do that. Don't do
Okay.
that. Don't do
All right,
that.
I
Do
brought
not do
it up.
that.
I brought it
Do
up.
not do
Okay,
that
I
because I
brought
would
it
have
up.
never
Look,
mentioned that. I would have never
you're
mentioned
completely
that.
false.
That was the past
You're
as far as I was
completely false,
concerned.
though. You
How?
are completely false,
He's the
though.
full
I am
50
looking
years
at
old, okay.
our head-to-head record in FIFA 18 and it's
Okay,
13
okay, that's not what I'm talking about because when I came back from my hiatus, you were beating me a lot. You were beating me a lot. And then I got back in the swing of things, and then you were fighting half a dozens at the end of the year. My quota was 6 goals at the end of,
He
at
did
the
make
end
up
of
the
the year.
half a dozen
Rudy can speak to
against
this
the
too.
DC.
Every game I wanted to win by 6 goals. It was every game. My quota was 6 goals. No one could dispute that, dog, and you were a part of that.
This is the
Plenty of
adventure to
highlights.
start.
He did. He
You were
did
the
make
start
up
of
the half a
patty
dozen
in the
against
oven.
him.
You were the start of it,
You were
dog.
the start of the
Thank
patty
you.
in the oven, dog.
Yeah,
you were the
thank
start
you.
of the patty in the oven. Beer patty.
You and Cat
Beer
game.
patties you were getting.
So it's very, very accurate. The way we ended
A
the
lot of
season
bad
was really bad for you.
A lot
And
of
would
patties
you-
you were getting.
So you wouldn't say that this season is very bad for you?
I would say.
Very bad for me. But the thing is, how much more time's left in the season?
Ooh, playoff time. It's time.
Yeah.
to ball
So
up.
what are you saying right now, dog?
Fresh slate, guys.
What are you saying right now?
Fresh slate.
I'm
Yeah.
saying
I won 3 times against me last year, dog. 3.
that's last year. That's the past.
No, my point is he won against me in the tournament when it counted, so it doesn't matter.
Season.
Would I switch places with him? Yeah, I would. In a second. I was the most dominant player last year, and he won. Would I switch places with him? Yes, I would. So what you're saying to me right now means nothing, Doc. Show me some hardware. Pause.
I do have hardware.
What hardware?
It's not the one you have.
Participation
That's
ribbon?
third place, bro.
You don't have the one that matters? You don't know what matters?
Whoa. Let's not discount the
Yeah, you
bronze.
can't really.
No.
discount it.
I'm saying you don't have one that no, the one that matters. I didn't say it doesn't matter. I said the one that matters. You don't have that one? Okay. I'm happy you have.
Last year, yo.
I'm happy I have one that doesn't matter as much.
Year. Show me your hardware now. These guys are talking about. I'm not discrediting no one with hardware, but if it isn't a championship, don't talk about your goddamn hardware because it's not a championship.
Nah.
Don't talk about your last year's status because it's this year, and I'm walking over everybody. I feel don't matter who has a championship. Better yet, that championship guy named DMPR, not only last year but this year.
That's an embarrassment.
This guy has not even played. He has
That's an
not won a
embarrassment to
league
the
match
fraternity.
against me back to back to back to back. He does not want to see Game Toronto at all in the IEGA.
I don't think we should talk about DMPR. He's had enough this
It's an
past
embarrassment to the
past
fraternity.
season. We're gonna let him talk in the next tournament. We're gonna let him talk in the next tournament.
We're gonna pick a better team for him.
Yes.
That's my boy.
I think so.
That's my boy. We're gonna have to do better. A lot more people out there.
What team did he use again?
Everton.
Who the hell told him to do that?
But that
Why
team's not
didn't
even
he
that
use
bad.
Madrid? Why didn't he use Madrid? Why
Ouch.
didn't he
Because
use
he's like
anybody?
Madrid. He's a Barca fan.
Oh, he's a Barca.
Wasn't
Why did he pick
everybody?
Barca? How did Casper stumble on Barca? Let me tell you another thing. The only reason why Casper's up there like that is because he has Barca.
Exactly.
Casper's a monster
Barca
too.
combined with bad internet.
Casper
on,
has
guys.
skills. I'm not telling you his skills ain't
He's
there.
got the 11th player. He's got the 11th player.
The 12th player.
He'd be just as good without Barca. Let's be honest.
No, he's gonna be good. He ain't gonna
Nah.
be like no DMPR. Like he ain't gonna come dead last. That's 100%.
I just think he's good because he has that extra player.
Because he has that extra player. Who's the extra player that this guy's talking about? The sixth man?
Bandwidth.
Oh my god.
That dude bandwidth. What? Number
What are we gonna do about
number
that, though? What are we gonna do
1.2.
about
Number
that?
1.2 on his jersey for
What are we gonna do
representative
about
of his
that?
download speed.
People that got a Twitch and their game's not working. What's gonna happen about that? Do we have any intel on that?
I think we're gonna have to come up with solutions.
Number 1.2 represents his
Solutions for
download
that
speed.
group.
That's on the jersey of number this extra player, dog.
Solutions
We
for
need
that
to- we need
group.
to know.
Yeah, solutions for that group. I think it's gonna have to be
Oh shit.
there's gonna have to be some trial and error at the beginning of the match. Like you're gonna have to start the match. You're gonna have to agree that at the start of the match you're going to test out responsiveness,
I
see
gotta
how
agree
the
nothing.
game
If
is.
your signal's red, what are we agreeing on?
No, but the signal can be red.
Sure.
But then
All I know is I'm glad he's not in my group. That would have been some arguments.
That's why I'm
But I
asking
dealt with
right
it.
now.
I
That's
dealt
what
with it
I'm
in the
trying to say
league,
right
but
now.
shit, I would have definitely not dealt
but
with it.
he
in the
hasn't been
playoffs.
twitching because he's been out there and the signal's red. Yeah, it might be good over there, but hey, it is what it is. I'm not knocking, man. Like all I'm saying is, if he has to twitch and do all this stuff now,
It's gonna be tough.
No,
Gonna be
it's not
tough.
gonna be tough. Man. We need to know solutions before we play these games.
It's true.
Because I know before it was like, oh, I see the red, we're not playing. You know what I mean? So like, I don't know why I
No.
gotta see
No.
afterwards.
No, it was never. We're not playing. I was explaining it. So you're gonna have to start the match. You're gonna have to mutually agree that you're gonna play off the first. You're gonna play the game, testing to see how responsive the game is. So if you're kicking the ball around, timing's right. If you're engaging your one-touch passing, your deep moves, and the timing's right, you're good to go. But if you're noticing that it's lagging, if you're noticing that it's lagging while he is twitching, then you guys are going to have to agree that and test it with him not twitching. So you guys are gonna have to start. Honestly, I think Casper matches, and obviously we have to make some arrangements for him. You're probably gonna have to start matches a little earlier to test all those things out, because I've played games where things have been smooth, but then I've played games where it's like
I've got a good internet group.
It has been.
Yeah.
I do. I have a very good internet group. I
I'm
must
trying to be
say.
serious here, and this guy chimes in. But yeah, you guys are gonna have to test some things out with Casper.
I have a very
Who
good
has
internet
the
group.
worst
I don't
internet
know, man,
group?
but I'm just saying, everyone knows what it is,
Casper
so
and DC.
all right, we'll see. You know what I mean? I know.
Oh shoot! Casper and
how's it
DC
gonna
are in the
work?
same group.
No, but Group D
No,
might be the
Casper,
worst internet
Casper
group.
Angel,
Listen,
and Juventus.
Group D might be the worst
reason
internet group.
the only reason why I had bad internet is because I've been moving around, but I'm getting hardwire installed this week,
But-
before my games. So
DC,
Nice.
everyone always has
Nice.
a reason why they catch something. You know what I mean? There's always a reason.
That should have just strapped up from the beginning, eh? That's going half-ass at it. When he should have strapped up from the beginning, eh? I get you.
Yo.
I get you. I get you.
how can I strap up in the
Same,
beginning
man.
when I
Couple
wasn't
drinks,
going
you
to
know
be
what I'm
there
saying?
permanently? I wasn't going to be
Couple
there
drinks,
permanently.
She said she hadn't been with nobody, so you know what I'm saying? It was okay.
She said she's a virgin, even though she's walking around with 11 guys with her, and she's the only girl there.
Oh man, you can't linger
She
in
only
there.
been with two
DC.
people,
You
man.
can't linger.
You know, it's just it seemed like it was
Yo,
I think
okay.
you need a disclaimer.
Yo, Teddy, yo, can
Just
you join the
make sure
camp
you
now?
test before your
Am I joining the camp?
the day before.
No,
Don't
are
don't
you
make
joining?
yourself
Can you join?
compromised,
Let's
man.
get a game.
You talking about girls or his game? I'm
I'm talking about his internet.
Oh,
Just make sure
oh,
that it's
gotcha.
tested beforehand,
Gotcha,
because
gotcha.
man,
Yeah. You
All right,
test-
well, as
just
long
get
as the
tested
league's on my
regularly.
side for what's going on with these big matches, I don't care. I'll play through them, you know what I mean? But if we should be all twitching and doing all this, these are the standards for the league. How are you going to win the prizes and do whatever the hell's going on if you ain't even up to par with your shit? Listen, the standard is this. You got to keep getting your shit up to par. I understand his situation. He moving around all over the place. But guess what? Even in the army, they got high-grade internet. You get what I'm saying? Like, you know,
It's
even
true.
if they don't got it, you get money. Get your internet yourself. You're planted here. Hey, excuse me, I'm gonna order internet. Yeah, it's gonna be here just for a month or two, whatever the matter. Like, you get what I'm saying? Like, let's be serious, man. We're grown men here. Like, you know what I mean? Your controller breaks, you go to the store and get a new one. You know what I mean? It's just that simple. I want to know. I'm not worried about it. As I say, I'm just saying. Hopefully, the league's looking at my matches, especially with that shit, because, like, as I say, when I start pointing out that, ooh, lag,
All these
ooh, lag,
disclaimers.
ooh,
You see-
belly. DC, I'm undefeated to
He's
him. You
worried.
little slut. The guy that slapped your head off your shoulder. I'm
He
undefeated
didn't
to.
slap. He didn't slap my head.
Shut
at
up!
all.
Why are you talking at all?
He
guy at
didn't
the top
slap
of the
me at
board,
all.
I am
think you forget
undefeated
what
too.
happened.
The guy at the top of the board, I am
Three-way tie,
undefeated.
three-way
to.
tie.
Why are you talking? I had to say that 4 times to make everybody believe, because it's like they ain't listening. What's wrong with this guy? What's
You don't
wrong with
believe it
this guy?
yourself.
Alright.
You're right, I know, and I just played it. Stop speaking just to be spoken for. You sound stupid, dog. You just saying shit to say shit, just to be heard or try to be funny. Sit in a goddamn corner and say something fucking like elaborate or fucking like, you know, that makes sense. You know what I mean? Like, don't come out here and talk about Blaze. Blaze is not in your
Okay.
group. Don't talk about me.
I'm
not in your
number
group.
4. I'm number 4. And what number are you?
6.
Ouch.
Okay.
Ouch.
Yeah,
Viewers.
I forgot. Yeah, remember he's the underdog.
Viewers, on
Who's
that
the
note,
underdog?
I'm going to be shutting some things down. The conversation is going to continue, so I don't know if anyone wants to turn on their Twitch and continue the IEGA talks with regards to playoffs. But I'm going to be shutting it down. Much respect. I'm going to put in some quality time because I'm going to be mad focused on the league in the upcoming days. IEGA has knocked it out of the park again. I'm really humbled and appreciate them giving me this opportunity to talk about the recap of the year, do the draft with A Blaze and I'm. We've got DC and Game Toronto and Teddy in the party chat sharing their opinions as well. I'm gonna have to get prepared for the playoffs to start on Wednesday. So make sure you're following the league. The match is gonna be happening one group a night, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. Don't miss out on the action. I'm Vader Games, shutting it down. I'm out.